Hey, no, I'm Tone Bot. No, I'm Tone Bot. No, I'm Tone Bot. We back, Ratchet Gang. We back with another one. We back with another banger. Let's get the likes up. Look, you might have forgot. Hell, they might have forgot. But you already know it's the king. Too loyal, no, I'm Tone Bot. Ratchet TV. Hey, y'all already know, man. Y'all already know. Get the likes up if you in the building. And if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, tap that notification bell so you can get the drop whenever I drop. All right, so boom. Man. We got to talk, Ratchet Gang. We got to chop it up. Look, right about now, we got to chop it up about this David situation, this David case just got crazier. If you thought that David case was crazy, well, it's about to get crazy. Let's keep it a big buck. The David case just took a crazy turn yesterday. And today some new information is coming out regarding a situation that I got to be careful with this situation. So first of all, I'm going to say allegedly, and everything I say is alleged. And it's all under the Fair Use Act. And you can see the fair use disclaimer in the description of this video and in the description of all my videos. This is just for entertainment and educational purposes only. This is just to educate my people on what we've been covering over here. Like I said, it's all under the Fair Use Act. And you can see the fair use disclaimer in the description of this video. And everything I say is alleged. Allegedly. Okay, so we're going to take a couple of different twists and turns while covering this David video. So I'm going to say the information is alleged. Now, it was alleged that they found some information on David's phone regarding some CP. And if you don't know what that is, then, I'm not saying it. You know what I'm saying? It involves younger ones. It's this child and, corn on the cob. Corn on the cob. Just do you. Come on, you can put two and two together. You're smart, right? Okay, you're smart. You get it. What he had on his phone, it regarded some younger ones, and it wasn't legal to have on your phone. So come on, put two and two together. We on the same page. Okay, they found that on his phone. All right. So once they found this information on David's phone, this didn't start the ring. This was just confirming the ring. What ring, Ratchet? What are you talking about, Ratchet? What ring? David allegedly had and I reported this uh back when this first happened. I mean, of course, I wasn't the only person with this information, but if you did your homework on the David situation, you already know that this all started on Fortnite. What are you talking about, Ratchet? He's a singer. No, this goes all the way back to when David first started. He was doing Fortnite. He was doing Fortnite content with a lot of kids. This is where it started. Okay, so he's using that platform, to do party chats on PlayStation or wherever he's playing Fortnite at. I don't know what the fuck he had the Xbox. I don't know that little weird ass kid. I'm gonna be real. I don't know nothing about the little weird ass kid as far as other than the information that came due to this situation. Other than that, I didn't know he existed. Before this Celeste situation popped off, never knew he existed. Before, I ain't even heard in the back of my mind, you died. And I didn't even cry. No, not a single tear. I didn't know nothing about this little dude. I didn't know that damn song. I didn't know who the fuck that was. I don't know nothing about this dude. So they allegedly, when I did my homework on Buddy, comes out he was using that Discord server. He was using that Discord server to I would say to live out a lifestyle that he wanted to bring in the younger audience. Let's just put it like that. So he's having these party chats on I was gonna say Facebook on PlayStation. So I don't know if you guys are familiar when you play online with you know how you ladies, you know how you and fellas, you know how you and your homeboys play video games. Ladies, you know how your boyfriend, your husband, whoever, your brother, whoever, he's sitting there talking on the damn headset and they talking shit to each other. Now, we've all had our little party chats. If we play PlayStation, Xbox, we've all sat there and partied with. But I'm gonna be real, I don't have no damn kids in my party. It just be me and the fellas, me and the bros. We all grown in the bitch talking shit, whoopty whoopty whoop. But if you're a gamer, you do know you get the squeakers and you get the motherfuckers. Like if you teaming up on Apex or Call of Duty, okay, some you probably gonna have a kid on your team or some shit like that. But you play a couple games with the kid, y'all might even talk a little shit with you might even cuss out a kid, whatever. Some shit may happen in the damn PlayStation. But what we're not doing is we're not inviting kids to our personal discords. I'm not inviting no damn kid to my Discord. I'm not telling no kid to, chop it up with me. Whoop de whoop. No, no. David was taking the PlayStation chats, he's getting into parties with the kids. Then the kids get into the party. Now they start releasing personal information, sending pictures, sending, addresses, sending whoop de whoop de whoop. David is linking up with these kids in person. This is what I'm finding out. Comes to find out, David has a couple of more girls that are about to come out the woodworks, and it's gonna be some kids, some guy. Not, he didn't do anything with the guy kids, with the little boys, but the little boys are going to be witnesses to what he was doing with these little girls, because he didn't just have but there's going to be some adults that are going to be witnesses too, but mostly David had a bunch of kids around him. I don't know if y'all realize how weird this dude was. He surrounded himself with a bunch of 14, 13, 16, 17, in that age range, and once you hit about 18, 19, you're too old for David. You know what I'm saying? So he surrounded himself with a bunch of minors, and he was taking them from Fortnite on PlayStation, Xbox, wherever the hell he's playing at, PC. I don't know where he's playing at. He's playing Fortnite. He's taking them from Fortnite. They're going over to Discord. You're going from Fortnite on a party chat. You get into his Discord, and you end up on Santa's lap. If you're a little, what I'm saying, the little one, the little girls. He's doing a lot of weird stuff. So, disclaimer, you're gonna hear some stuff in this. It's not gonna be, what I'm saying, what you normally would hear. So you got sensitive ears, disclaimer right there. This David situation just took a weird turn. So as we get deeper into the David case, I got some videos that I want to present. And we're gonna chop it up about some things that were going on in court. So allegedly there's two little girls that were in that courtroom too, and they're thinking these girls are like around 13, 14, 15 years old, and they were with the prosecution team. They are saying David is fixing to go down with the feds. This is that serious. It's as serious as, I believe, David ain't the only person doing this, first of all. And there's no excuse for him. I hope he goes down and he's sick and he needs to be arrested. He needs to be locked up. He needs to do life for what he did. Because I know he did all the shit. I don't think he unalived the little girl, though. I think I think he pissed somebody off. I think people were already caught wind. I think the higher ups, people knew David already had a little ring of minors going on. I think I think people were well aware of this. Hush hush though. But I think he might have pissed the wrong people off, maybe a record executive, maybe some, because I don't know that he unalived the little girl. I think he had something to do with covering it up, whatever. I always thought he didn't personally do it, but hey, this kid might be twisted enough to do it. I don't know. I could be wrong about that. I don't know. This kid is he's a sinister, sick, twisted kid. It goes deeper than we all thought it did, because now we find out she wasn't the only girl. And now going back to look at some of the stuff that I seen him say, now I could be wrong about it all. He might have just put his hands in all this and did it himself. He might have been the one to do all this shit, because some of the information I'm getting is just showing like this kid is way more twisted than I ever thought. So let's go deeper into the mind of David today. I want to show y'all some things that not a lot of people aren't showing y'all. A lot of people just gonna cover the case and just give you what everybody's talking about. But Ratchet TV doesn't do that. That's why you need to go ahead and subscribe to this channel right now, because I give the best drops on every situation. There is no content creator better than Ratchet TV. Let's start right there. So if you're enjoying the content, why don't you go ahead and hit the like button if you're liking the content, and go ahead and subscribe to the channel so you can get more content like this. Go ahead and get into the comment section when this video ends. But if we're far from over, we haven't even got started yet. But always comment on the video and share the video. And also, when these videos end, I think you can hype 3 videos up a week. Choose whichever one you like the most and hype my videos up. Let's go, man. Let's get me down that algorithm. Salute to the chat. And oh yeah. Moderators, salute to you. Also, salute to the green team if y'all watching this. Salute to everybody who is a member on my channel. Just salute to everybody who is even on my channel. I appreciate everybody for even watching. And if you want to send a donation, you could do so via Cash App, $Ratchet TV, or you could just send a super chat right now if you're watching it live. You can send a super sticker, whatever. I appreciate all that. But if not, just like the video and let's get it trending down this algorithm. Let me get some water and we about to get started. All right, I'm doing a lot of talking. Y'all ready to get started on this video? All right, so let's get deeper into the mind of David. Let's get deeper into the mind of David. All right, let me open up my videos. Hold on, is this it right here? I think we start right here.
I personally don't.
Yo, I media trained you.
No, you didn't.
That's controversial.
It's controversial of rape.
And this is when she says the R word, the younger ones, and watch David.
Kids.
And there goes, look at him. He was a little sinister little
really
kid.
good.
Okay,
it's been a good one.
Bye guys.
Mwah, 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 mwah. Oh my! Delete everything. Delete everything. Everything goes. Everything. Take that one off.
I took it off because it didn't go with the silver.
Season it. It's already seasoned, but it's Alfredo.
Oh, my bad.
Chat. Pray for his career, chat. Are we done? Are we?
We need to delete this.
Are we?
Look
Mods, can we delete all VODs? And then as soon as the stream ends, delete the stream too?
As soon as the stream ends, delete the stream too. Mods, can we delete all VODs? And as soon as the stream ends, in the stream too. The fuck you? Y'all should have knew he was weird right there. Look at this little motherfucker trying to hide all the evidence. Look at him.
We need to delete this.
Are we? Mods, can we delete all VODs? And then as soon as the stream ends, delete the stream too? Can we delete anything? You done for, bro? Y'all are not done? Now you gonna abstain? Yo, wait.
Oh, look it. Answer that one. That's so mean if you don't answer
Which
that.
one? What's good, David? Big fan, mixed by me. Oh, thank you, Mitochondria. Appreciate you.
I gotta sound with him if you even.
Hold on. Give me a second. All right, there we go. My bad. I had to move my damn light. The light was fucking with me right there. I think it looks better like that. All right, so yeah, this little kid. I told y'all this little motherfucker was weird. I told you delete all the VODs out of the chat. And what is all this? What is all this, David? What is all this? It's a little sass. He just got he put a little sass on it. All right, David, I'll get your little weird ass off my screen, fam. Hold on. Give me a second. All right. Let me see. Let me make sure I'm starting at the right spot. Okay, yeah. All right, cool. All right. So let me get David the hell off my screen real quick because that little motherfucker is weird. All right. Allegedly he is. You know, he's a strange kid. Very strange kid. Oh shit. Let me do this. Let me take that off. All right, boom. Let's get to the next video. My bad, y'all. I haven't been live I haven't been doing my videos in a couple days, but I've been really, really busy. So I'm back, y'all. I'm back. I'm getting my videos cranked back up. I'm sorry that I missed a couple days, but I'm back.
Conversation that happened, and the irony of it was that person that was saying I love you, she's not in my life anymore. So it's like people say that the string can't be cut and the connection cannot be severed, but I feel like it can sometimes. I really wanted the
cut and severed. He's making a point to say like he cut, sharp object, cut, severed the body parts. Is he confessing?
The listeners to feel like they're reading a book almost, and they get into a different chapter with every song, but there's also that kind of pause where they can take every song in by itself and then have this kind of visual landscape in this interlude to kind of be in my head, in my mindset, and why I wrote the project like this and how everything went, just to like keep them even more interested and connected throughout the project for sure.
At the end of the interlude, correct me if I'm wrong here, She says, I love you.
Mm-hmm.
You don't respond. She says, I love you again. It repeats itself and you don't respond. Was that done purposely?
Absolutely, because the next song after that is This Really Love?
Uh-huh.
He's like, they look like, this kid is weird.
So it's kind of like a lead into that kind of a transition type thing, you know?
I believe the last time you were here, didn't you say you never experienced love or hadn't been in love? You didn't.
Yeah,
believe so?
I wasn't in a relationship then. Nah.
But you were with Celeste. You couldn't have fam. She was 11 when you met her, bro. This is the first time you experienced. Lock him up. Lock him up, bro. Lock David the fuck up. All I can say to David, lock his little ass up. Keep him right where the hell he at. Yeah, the shit that's gonna be popping off in your preliminary hearing. I can't wait. Let's continue.
Exactly what he was doing. Let's start off with this lyric from one of his songs. He said, I don't care about the law when I'm with you because I be breaking it all the time. Here's a picture that he put on his close friends. It is said that he would only post his relationship with Celeste on his close friends because obviously nobody could see it. And this is them together. This is a tattoo that the 15-year-old girl had on her finger. This was also posted to Instagram.
And this is also something that I'm hearing, that he cut this finger off. This one in the middle finger and the ring finger, the one with the tattoo and I think the ring finger, whatever. But if I'm not mistaken, it was both of those fingers. From what I heard, I don't know if it's true. It's alleged, but they saying that 2 of those fingers were cut off, allegedly.
And it says, David. This is another Instagram story that he posted, but so cleverly he covers up her face because she is, of course, 15 years old. This is proof that for 2 years in a row, he uploaded love songs on Celeste's birthday. Her birthday is September 7, 2010. This is a missing poster that was actually being put on Facebook and social media by her family. Now, this one's a little bit confusing because it says she was last seen February 14th of 2024, and then there's another poster that says April 2024, so I'm not sure if she had a history of running away. This is another photo from December 2023 of David and Celeste together. This is a screenshot from his Discord where someone's saying he has a girlfriend. They're pretty sure he's dating, and her name is Celeste. This is, of course, the matching tattoo that he had with her on his
matching tattoo, and that's why he cut that finger off. But people in that Discord server were witnesses to this. That's what I'm telling y'all. It was kids in that Discord who already knew that they was in a relationship, and these weren't grown people. These weren't like 20, 19-year-olds, 21-year-olds. These were kids about 14, 15, 16 years old that all were friends of Celeste, and they all knew each other. It was like a community of kids because they all were Fortnite and Discord, and then he started getting famous on the music. So by the time he's famous on the music, all the kids love him. He's popular with all the kids. He would come to the Celeste hometown, and all the kids would be out there taking pictures of him. He had a lot of kid fans. Like, the kids loved David. So let's continue.
Finger because obviously he couldn't put her name on his finger because she's 15. Proof that romantic homicide was uploaded on her birthday. This is another picture of them together, and on this one I think they were on FaceTime with someone.
He made those 2 songs about her on her birthday. He kept releasing songs on her birthday, and one of them was about unaliving her.
Person who put this photo said, Celeste and David, don't let me sleep. Another photo of the girl with David while they were like video chatting. Okay, so pay attention to this one. This is a photo of Celeste and David that was uploaded by a user named Lamp. Lamp said, hey, who's the girl? David said, you are a fed. David later says, I know that he leaked already. We're literally preparing to sue him. He's about to owe me $30,000. This is a music video that he uploaded 7 months ago, which was 10 months after Celeste went missing, and it's a very scary music video where he's basically putting a body into a trunk and then burying it. And this isn't a separate video, but there's basically an unaliver standing in front of him at the edge of a bed. This is another Discord screenshot that Celeste herself apparently posted. She was replying to another girl, and she posted this photo of David wearing a shirt that says I love my girlfriend, and I'm assuming that that heart in the middle had a picture of them together as a couple. This is a tweet from May in 2022, and it is said that they were talking in 2022. He said, when I was writing this, I got a notification from you as you were talking about wanting to be with your mom and your sister again. You said, take me where I belong, but our circumstances won't allow us to be in our ideal situations. We got to push through it. Was he insinuating that she wanted to go home and he wasn't letting her?
Of course he was. Of course David was insinuating that he wouldn't let that girl go home because he had took that girl. He took her, manipulated her. He was the ultimate narcissist. He took that girl, manipulated her, and he got into her mind, and she's a kid, bro. Kids are impressionable. You know what I'm saying? Like, anybody knows that. Kids don't that's why there's no you got to have an age of consent, because kids don't have a mind to consent to. They don't even, anyone under that age, like in that age bracket, don't got the mind to understand what life is. They don't understand anything about this world, so you can manipulate a kid. So that's why what you're doing is illegal, sir. What you're doing is fucked up, because that's a child, and that girl didn't know no better. You had an 11 years old kid, doesn't know like absolutely nothing. So a grown man that they're falling for, you know what I'm saying? It's like the fucking Naziah situation all over again. In a way, it's like exactly the same, bro. But I think you're no better than Jarvis Butts, and you might get the same outcome. From what it's looking like, you about to get the same outcome as Jarvis Butts. But we're gonna get back to that, man. I don't like you, David. You a fucked up dude, and I think your world is crumbling because of the things you were doing. Like your darkness came to light. Everything that's done in the dark comes to the light. Let's continue, man. All right, let's get back to this next video.
Hey everybody, it's David here. Today I'm going to be talking about sin and God's forgiveness. And I'm going to be reading from Romans 7:14, and it goes like this. We know that the law is spiritual, but I am unspiritual, sold as a slave to sin. I do not understand what I do, because I do what I don't want to do, and I hate what I do. And if I do what I don't want to do, I agree that the law is good. As it is, I am no longer myself who does those things, but the sin living in me. For I know that the good itself does not dwell in me, and that it's the sinful nature that dwells in me. For I have the desire to do what is good, but I cannot carry it out. For I do not the good that I want to do, but the evil that I don't want to do, this I keep on doing.
I want y'all to pay attention to what he's saying, because he's like, it's like he's using God to guide people in. Gotta pay attention, because the devil was a very tricky person. You remember, the devil was once an angel. I'm not here to preach, just understand.
Now if I do what I don't want to do, it is no longer I who did it, but the sin living in me that does it. And this is Paul talking about his struggles with sin and how he cannot overcome that overwhelming urge to continue to do wrong, although he knows right from wrong and good and bad. I feel like we all have a moral compass, and that moral compass will always lead us to the good option, but sometimes the bad option is easier. You take that easier route. It's a cop-out. You don't have to deal with the consequences of your sin by sinning. And personally, for me, I used to struggle a lot with lying, and lying is the easiest thing to do. It's the easiest sin to commit, and the devil is a liar, and he can alter your thoughts. The difference between God and the devil is the devil never knows what you're thinking. God always knows what you're thinking, but the devil doesn't know. He can never know what you're thinking in your head because he's not all-knowing. But what he can do is manipulate your thoughts and continue to plant these seeds that, oh, if you do this, it's so much easier. You have.
That's exactly what you did to Celeste. You see what I'm saying? Like I told, this kid is like the devil. When you listen to this sinister shit he's saying, this is the exact same person he is. Like, think about what we know about the, well, this is all alleged. I don't know nothing to be true. I'm just saying this is all alleged. So from what we believe, because it don't matter what you know, just say what you believe you know about him. Listen to what he's saying and think about what you believe you know about this kid. Listen to this shit.
No consequences. You will never have to deal with that part. But when you come into Christ, you have to notice that God is the truth. And no matter what the consequences is, you have to kind of separate yourself from the sin completely and kind of accept. You have to continue to accept what you're doing is wrong, and then there comes repentance after that, is turning around and not continuing to dwell in that sin. And I feel like people are so used to relapsing no matter what the sin is, and they think that God is not going to forgive them again because of how much wrong they've done and how shameful they feel. And that's not the case at all. I feel like people need to understand that God is forever loving, and he's forever waiting for you to turn back to him. And he's not going to force himself on you. He's not going to be like, oh my goodness, I have to grab him and bring him back. He'll wait for you to make that realization and come back to him yourself. I'll tell you guys a story. I had a friend whose girlfriend continuously broke his heart and was continuously doing things that he knows that she'll keep doing, and he'll keep on having to take her back because that love is so strong. And she'll keep promising that she'll change, but she never changes. And he'll be at the verge of breaking up with her and leaving her, and then she'll be like, wait, can you please wait for me? I'll change, I promise I'll change it. I'll change soon, I'll fix these problems. And he'll be like, okay, maybe I do have this faith that you will change, so I'll stay. Even at my own expense, I'm the one being hurt, I'm the one getting my heart broken. I'll stay because that love I have for you is so strong. And sometimes I wonder, as a sinful person, as we all are sinful people, committing these sins and then turning to God and then looking at him in his eyes, and he watches everything we does, and he's seeing us commit all these sins, and then we have the nerve to be like, wait, no, I'll stop, I'll change, when we have no intention of changing. And sometimes I'm like, does God almost break up with me sometimes when I'm committing the sins that I know that I'm going to repeat again, and I'm continuously fake repenting because I'm asking for forgiveness? I'm saying sorry a million times when I'm committing the same sins over and over and over again. But I'm saying, wait for me, just wait for me, I'll change, just wait for me. And because that love that God had for us is so strong, he's going to wait. He's going to wait for your return, wait for your genuine sorry, that last sorry that you'll ever have to say. He's waiting for that sorry. He's waiting for that change. He's waiting for the Holy Spirit to activate and to work in your life and to actually see that change. And it's a comforting thing to know that there's somebody waiting for your change. Even though you're saying you're going to change a million times and you don't do it, God is still standing right there with his hand out. He's not pulling his hand back because of your sin, because your sin is not stronger than the love he has for you. And I just want to encourage anybody that's currently dealing with any addictions, any problems, any sin, lying, anything in your life that you're struggling with, just know that God is still waiting for you with those open arms, and he's still waiting for you to come and return to him. And I would like to pray with you guys as I'm closing out this TikTok. Lord,
I don't need your prayers, David. Don't need them.
I pray that the person watching this TikTok right now that is dealing with any type of sin, any addiction, any struggles with anything going on in their lives, I pray that you will give them peace, and you will give them the peace of mind that you will not turn away from them or turn your face from them, and that they can always return to you in repentance, and that they can always count on you in their darkest times and darkest hours, no matter how sad they feel, how depressed they feel, how oppressed they feel by their sin, that you are always standing by them through it all. In Jesus' name, I pray that you all have a great night, a great rest of your day whenever you're watching this. I love you guys so much. Thank you for listening to my music, and thank you for tuning into the TikToks. I'm going to continue to try to do these videos every day. I love you guys so much. Peace.
See what I mean? Sinister kid. It's a very, very sinister kid. So as we continue to get into this David situation, what do y'all think about that? See how he manipulated? He's the exact same person that he was saying the devil was. So is David the devil?
So allegedly, David cut off 2 of Celeste's fingers, her pinky and her left ring finger that had a tattoo on it that read David was removed. And this shit gets way worse because the autopsy reports tell exactly what happened, exactly how she lost her life. So the medical examiner said that there are 2 puncturing wounds of the torso with smooth edges that represent sharp force injury, which means she was killed by multiple penetrating injuries. The wound on her upper abdomen penetrated her liver, and the wound on her chest penetrates one of the left intercostal spaces. With disruption of the adjacent ribs, cortical surfaces. Mind you, this gets way worse. On top of her fingers being amputated, on top of her suffering multiple torso-penetrating wounds, her head was partially skeletonized, and she had a missing eye. They're also saying that she might have had alcohol in her system. They're also saying that there were drugs in her system. Now they're saying they confiscated David's phone, and allegedly on his phone, he has tons of child pornography. You gotta ask yourself, how wicked was this man? You also have to ask yourself, how many people knew that these two were in a relationship and didn't say anything about it? These are the questions that need to be asked. And then you gotta ask yourself, who helped him hide the things that he did to Celeste? Who was his accomplice? Because somebody had to help him hide the things that was done to this young lady. Somebody helped him. This is probably one of the sickest cases we're gonna hear this year. Any more information, I'm gonna let you know. I'm out.
I ain't gonna lie. This is probably gonna be the case of the year. It's probably not gonna happen this year, but I mean, as far as the information is gonna come from this case, this is gonna be the biggest case you'll hear about this year. But when this goes to trial, this probably be one of the biggest trials ever. And they're saying they're not gonna allow cameras in the vicinity. I think that's a huge error on their part. We got to see this trial, man. We got to.
Might have just found out why David did what he did. So prosecutors have now laid out what David is actually being charged with. And it basically comes down to three horrifying things. Allegedly having a relationship with someone underage, ending her life, and trying to cover it up afterwards. According to prosecutors, Celeste was last seen alive on April 23rd, 2025. And what makes that date even more shocking is that it was just 2 days before David released his debut album. Now, here's where it gets even darker. One of the allegations tied to the case is murder for financial gain. Prosecutors believe that Celeste was allegedly threatening to go to the police right before the album dropped. In other words, this wasn't just about a secret getting out. They're suggesting he thought this could destroy his career before it even fully took off. And from what's being said, this relationship wasn't completely hidden either. People were allegedly talking about it online, and there are claims that Celeste had called him out before. Once prosecutors say that there was a risk of this becoming public, they allege David invited Celeste to his home, he took her life with a sharp object, and then tried to cover it up after it happened. And now we have part of the autopsy report. According to the medical examiner, Celeste's death was ruled a homicide. The reports say she died from multiple penetrating injuries, including sharp forced wounds to her upper body. It also says the condition of her remains made some details harder to determine, which just makes the entire case even more disturbing. What's even more disturbing is that an animated music video has resurfaced of David and a young female, where it shows a moment that he slashes this young girl's arm off and then throws a knife at her abdomen. This music video came out 2 years before Celeste was last seen alive, depicting himself fighting against his alter ego. Despite all of that, David has pled not guilty. And honestly, that's what makes this whole thing even crazier to think about. Because if he had just been exposed for the relationship alone, that would have already been a massive scandal. His career would have taken a hit, absolutely. But at least there's a world where someone faces consequences, gets help, disappears for a while, and maybe comes back and tries to rebuild something later. But if prosecutors prove what they're alleging here, this is way beyond a scandal. This is the kind of case that there is no coming back from.
Let me ask y'all something. Do y'all believe that David actually took her life, or do you think he was responsible for taking her life? How can I ask that? Do you think he actually was the one to do it, or do you just think he had something to do with it, but he didn't actually have his hands on it? What do y'all think right now? I don't know. This is sad and unfortunate. We're gonna continue. We're not done. But what do y'all think? Do y'all think David actually did it himself? Because what they're saying and what they're alleging, David did it.
Brand new David theory about what happened to Celeste and how she ended up in David's car, and it makes so much sense that it's literally giving me chills. So this user posted on Reddit saying, I know some folks might think this is crazy, but I cannot stress how very likely the following scenario is, and trust me, you're gonna want to hear this. He said, I still very firmly believe that Celeste was unalived on or near January 2nd of 2025. His posts right around January 2nd and 3rd were so emo and sad. The songs he tagged in his Instagram post were all about the death of a loved one, and I just cannot get past the fact that I believe this is when she died. And the Instagram they were referring to was not David's main account, it was his secondary account called Extra David. This is his post on January 2nd. It appears to be of a beach and the caption is in Japanese. And when you translate it, it says death from smoking. And the next picture is a billboard with the amount of smoking deaths this year. Now here's where things get crazy. On January 3rd, David posted pictures in a nature/forest location, and people realized that these pictures were taken in the Santa Barbara area. This is the same area that police said David took a mysterious trip to in the middle of the night, and that he was with someone and Celeste's body was in the car. This is one of the pictures he posted on January 3rd, and as you can see, it looks like it's right in the middle of a forest. When you translate it, it says, "My sight is beautiful," and this is the next picture of a rock that says hi. But the craziest thing he posted was on his story the very next day, January 4th, of a picture that literally looks like it could be of a burial site, and in the caption he includes the Hello Kitty logo, which we know Celeste was obsessed with. The user goes on to say, "I believe what very likely could have happened is that David initially disposed of Celeste's body in the creek area, which is the remote location in the Santa Barbara area, marked the rock with a hi, and then months later started panicking that since he posted pictures of the location, he needs to go and move the body because it would be too easy to tie it back to him if they ever found a body there. So he went in the middle of the night in spring to actually retrieve the body from the Santa Barbara area and brought it back to LA. And as to why Celeste's body was left in his car, he might have panicked, not known what to do with it, and immediately left on tour. But there's just something so eerie about this picture that people started looking into it. One person said they saw what could possibly be a foot. Another person said they found what looks like a hand. Some people think this was her final standing spot, and other people think she was running from him, trying to escape. And this user thought that David might have filmed the whole thing and thought of it as his artistic project. Either way, the idea that he disposed of her body in a remote location, panicked, and then brought her back in his car makes a lot of sense. Rest in peace to Celeste. Let me know what you guys think about this, and as anything comes out, I'll keep you guys updated.
Like I said, this dude was doing a lot of sinister shit. They thinking that he was posting the damn burial site and all type of, man. If this dude did all this stuff, man, he deserves life. He deserves the death penalty. I ain't gonna lie, the death penalty.
Okay, I have another update for this whole David situation. I usually don't do like content warnings or anything like that, but if you're sensitive to bad things happening to kids, then just don't watch any of the David videos. Honestly, it's not worth it. But basically, the information that the prosecutors are presenting to the court is starting to trickle out as they prepare for trial, and it's just as gruesome as you'd expect it to be. Like, they looked through David's phone as a part of the investigation, and they found tons of images of bad stuff. That's pretty obvious, especially considering the fact that the victim was a child. So it's possible that some of those images could be of the victim or just other kids, you know. But the most shocking thing,
from what I'm hearing, is other kids. It's her and other kids. There's multiple, and they gonna bring them to court.
To come out since David was officially arrested is probably the autopsy that was conducted by the city of Los Angeles. There's a viral image of the autopsy report, and it's not graphic or anything. It is kind of like a drawing of a body, but it's hand marked by the person that was doing it to explain how the body looks different than. And I'm not showing it because just in of itself, it's very violent, because you can just see like lines around the elbows and the knees for where the parts were disconnected. There were also marks on the kind of side and the chest where the official cause of Celeste passing away was a sharp object, right? So like a knife or something like that. There were also fingers missing too. There's speculations that David's name was tattooed on one of her fingers, and that's why it was missing, but we don't know. An eye was missing, and then part of the scalp was skeletonized. And honestly, knowing that information and then looking at pictures of that poor little girl, it just makes me really like tear up a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. Like, this is so screwed up. And especially as someone that makes music and has seen like firsthand like how scummy people are, it's just such a waste of life, and it's just such a waste of a golden opportunity that David had to like have a song in Fortnite and in Arcane, and you know, have all these fans and a sold out tour and all these songs with these famous people, and this is what you decide to do in the dark. It's And a lot of people are making lots of money off of this too. I mean, I'm making videos because it's my full-time job, obviously, and I do care about this information, but I want to be respectful in how I present it to you guys, because this is some real dark stuff that went down in this situation. But yeah, if you want to support me, then please like, share, and follow. Or if you want to support me personally, you can do that by listening to my music, my new.
Man, we're not listening to damn music, brother. But salute. Man, yeah, David, it's gonna be images of other kids, man. There's gonna be multiple children that are gonna be involved in this. That's why I'm saying trigger warning for you. If you can't hear about that, then this ain't gonna be the case for you, because David is about to get caught up in some shit. That's all I'm gonna tell y'all. He's about to go down for some shit.
Other information, because I understand you allegedly have proof that David was allegedly involved with other minors?
Yeah, and I've brought that up before. So this wasn't a big surprise when, Beth said the word child porn 3 or 4 times today. And she was really, I agree with Mark, there's a lot of posturing going on here. She was really trying to get that out there. But I have another minor that I've been in touch with for months that sent me photographic evidence of her and David at the rental house, and which was an illegal relationship.
Do you know if that's part of the case or going to be part of the case?
I don't know. They've been turned. I can tell you that the photos have been turned over to law enforcement. She's talked to law enforcement. I don't know if that's part of the case or not. They are going to be very protective of the imagery. They made that clear.
Steve, by the way, are people coming forward?
Jesse, let me just.
Well, Mark, just stand by for 1 second. Mark, just stand by for 1 second. I just want to follow up one thing with Steve here. Are people coming forward to you, Steve, with more information about David since he's been arrested and charged?
Yes, yeah, there is. There have been, and a couple of people had indicated to me that they would have something to say if he was arrested. They were nervous about him and people in his orbit, and they're more comfortable now. They still don't want to go public, but they're willing to talk to law enforcement.
I mean, they're coming to you, and then you're delivering that information to law enforcement, or they're speaking to you and law enforcement?
I'm connecting them in certain cases. Yeah.
I told y'all, it's gonna be some more kids that's about to come out the woodworks. David, this is just getting started. Your nightmare is just starting, David. Your nightmare wasn't just getting caught with Celeste. It's the rest of the
They're
kids.
coming after David psychologically. Let me explain. So the hearing, 3 of 10, was supposed to happen today on Thursday. If you're wondering, 3 of 10, so allegedly they have like 10 days to be able to get like their stuff. This date would have been the 3rd of 10. He could have set a new record. Their discovery system that takes in all that digital evidence needs more data to support this new discovery, because it is 40 terabytes. I'm going to put into perspective what that is. Like, so for me, I was juggling a 2 terabyte plan, and that was a lot. That was over 10,000 videos and images just for me alone, and all the other stuff that I have, like writing things, edits, all kinds of stuff. I invested in a 19 terabyte plan. That's how I have access to the Ultra model, but that's a lot. Like, that's a lot. That would be like relatively like almost 200,000 videos and pictures, like edits and all kinds of stuff, right? My average big videos, like if they're 10, maybe even 20 minutes with all the edits and all that stuff, I'm looking at, I've seen 3 gigabytes. That's been a really, really big file. So when they say that they need either to update the system, because they also reveal there's also another issue with getting that discovery to his defense, and it's because we have learned today that there are illegal images of minors. Okay, use your imagination. So it's illegal to upload, it's illegal to view, it's illegal to download, and they also have wiretap footage we've learned today too, and there was an issue because the prosecutor hasn't even seen it all. There's so much, and these files, the 2 things I just mentioned, are causing a dilemma for 2 different reasons, but also relating to the data size. So like I mentioned, there are 40 terabytes of digital evidence that they have to upload. There's a court system, and this is important. So if you listed this, so whenever you have digital evidence, it gets everybody's stuff, all the investigators, it all goes into a pot, and somebody scans it into the actual court system, which is probably some kind of server, like a cloud server. That's probably if he had an iPhone, which he has his iCloud account, if he had a Google account, like everything that they subpoenaed, every text, everything that was digitally scanned into the system or collected, is all going to be uploaded into one central server that is secure. But because it is illegal material, they have to do things a little bit differently, and it's also only viewable under a very special circumstance that is probably under supervision at the courthouse. So the defense is going to have to watch all of this footage. Now, the thing with the wiretap, we don't know if that happened before Celeste passing. They did say that there was an investigation ongoing and that he allegedly murdered the witness of an ongoing investigation, because they alleged the motive was Celeste was threatening to tell on him and he felt like it was going to destroy his music career, so he allegedly murdered her. So the data is going to overwhelm the court system. Like, they need to update the entire court cloud server system to receive evidence, or the defense has to provide their own flash drives for them to put this on. David's defense attorney, Blair Burke, she's like, okay, well, here's a 5 terabyte drive. Sassy Beth Silverman is the LA County prosecutor, and she's like, that's not going to do anything for us. We've only downloaded 30% of what we need to download out of the 100 percentile. Beth lets us know that that's not even going to hold one file. Some of these files were so huge that he needs at least a 10 terabyte flash drive just to hold that one file. So there's a lot of psychology happening here, because David hasn't seen the evidence, which he probably knows what they could potentially find, but he doesn't know what they actually have. But now he learned that there was a wiretap that was on him, and he learned that they have possession of child porn. Every time the defense tries to like get a little bit of leverage, it's just shot down. Okay, we hear you need space. Here's some storage. No, that ain't even going to do nothing. To make things even more darker, David's dad allegedly has worked for the court system, specifically an attorney. And what did he do for the attorney? Allegedly, he uploaded digital evidence for discovery. Yep. See, if y'all don't know this, the whole thing about David being the target of the investigation came to light, like officially came to light. His mom, dad, and his brother were subpoenaed for a grand jury hearing to come all the way from Texas to California, because David's Tesla was registered to David outside of Texas. It makes sense why they try to appeal this subpoena, because his dad worked in an attorney's office, allegedly, according to a LinkedIn. This is according to another source that I found, and they found other links, and allegedly this law firm has been there for the, I think it's the co-executors of the Epstein estate, not Epstein himself, but the estate of Epstein, and they represented the people that were in charge of managing or distributing from that estate. Small world out there, just an ironic little twist, but he has connections, and so he tried to appeal this, and the judge looked at it, and there's this law. They were like, sorry, we got to collaborate with this. I have to deny your appeal. And it became public because of this whole little debacle they were trying to get out of. So his parents ended up outing their own son in front of the national media about being the #1 suspect, which we knew. It just had been a very quiet and slow process. A lot of people were like, why did it take so long? Well, obviously, the amount of digital evidence is insane, but somebody that is signed to a pretty well-known music label has a large following. This is something that is so important, because the special circumstance in California means that this is like the worst of the worst of the worst. Like, you're the worst kind of murderer that there could be. I mean, it's all bad and anything, but that just means like you're that extra, and that opened the doors for the death penalty or life in prison with no parole. If you have a file, now me telling y'all, my largest video, maybe we'll even give it a little bit extra credit, 5 gigabytes. That is huge. That is a huge file. It's not even 1 terabyte, but for one file of media, of video footage, you need a 10 terabyte drive or some type of flash drive or something, or SD card. You need something to hold 10 terabytes. How long was that video footage rolling? Were you spying on somebody for weeks, months? That's a really big file. I mean, like, he literally might hold the record for the largest file, single file for digital evidence for California, for Los Angeles. So allegedly, the entire discovery is only 30% uploaded, and the DA The prosecutor herself hasn't even listened to all the entirety of the wiretap alone. The problem is that they have to go through and figure out what is client attorney privilege or what constitutes that, because they don't want to have any issues with that. Somebody was asking me earlier where they could watch the hearing, and unfortunately there were no cameras allowed for this hearing, and the hearing didn't really get to happen. They postponed it again. There was a creator on YouTube that gave really, really good notes. I got some of them from them. I would highly recommend to watch them. Shout out to Trapmore Ross on YouTube. Go check them out. They actually sat in the courthouse. They sat not far from David, and they're giving all kinds of really good notes. In the next part, I'm going to talk about the medical examiner's report, and we'll go from there.
So as you see, it's a lot of stuff going on in this David case. This is one of those cases that's gonna. I think that this goes on a couple years. I don't see this getting resolved anytime soon. And 10 terabytes for one file, like David, I don't know what the fuck you really got going on, dude, but they finna find out some shit. And the preliminary hearing is not taking place. It's supposed to take place next week, but they need to still present their evidence to say that they even have enough probable cause to even take this to trial. So David, what's gonna happen here? Either they finna put the evidence on you and tell everybody what they got on you, or they finna just have to let your ass slip away. I don't think that's gonna happen. But they about to present all this evidence. The defense is saying they don't have no evidence because they haven't seen no evidence to say he did this. They saying, trust me, it's coming next week. We finna see. They finna upload all these files and get it safely to these people with the respect of the children. And then they finna light David ass up. I don't know. Y'all tell me what y'all think about this, man. Damn, we've been here damn near an hour. I didn't even think this video was gonna take this long, but it was a great video. Hopefully y'all really enjoyed the content. I don't want it to be too damn long. So I'm about to go ahead and end this damn video, but I want to know what y'all think about it. Please give me your like tell me what you basically got out of what they're saying, and what you think that what do you think is going to happen moving forward in this case? Do you think David is going to get do you think he's going to trial? Do you think more kids are going to come out? Do you think David is about to go down in the feds? Because this is all going to be federal offenses. Are the feds coming for David? It sounds like they are. So let me know what y'all think about it in the comment section. Like, share, subscribe, comment, hype the video up, send support if you want to do so. But you could just support by hitting that like button. I'm talking about, hit the like button for your boy. All right, man. But yeah, this David situation is sad and unfortunate. And yeah, let me know what y'all think about it in the comment section. I'm about to get ready to get the hell up off here. And I'll see y'all on the next video. As always, this your boy Big Ratchet. That's Ratchet Gang. And this is Ratchet TV. I love y'all more than y'all will ever know. And I'm about to get ready to get the hell up off here. Salute to the chat. Salute to the chat. Salute to the chat. I'm gone.